For many youth baseball players, being a pitcher seems like the best position on the field. Pitchers get to touch the ball on every play. They decide when each play is going to start by choosing when to pitch the ball. And every single person at the game has their eyes on them every play. Even though all that sounds great, what they don't ever think about is the amount of stress that pitching puts on the throwing arm. If youth pitchers don't pay attention to the health of their arm, there's a real possibility for long-term injury to happen. Today's Bullpen Bulletin is all about pitch count for youth pitchers. I'm covering 4 essential topics that you need to know about pitch count so you can make sure that you're getting better with every outing and not causing injury. Hey team, it's Coach Hart with Building Better Baseball, the best place for baseball education. Thanks for tuning in today, and I just want to let you know that this channel is all about youth baseball improvement for players and coaches. So if that sounds like something you'd like, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm here every week with a brand new video to help you in your baseball journey. And at the end of this video, I'm giving away a couple free guides as my gift to you for stopping by, so don't miss out. But now, let's learn how we can use pitch count to make us better pitchers. The first topic is there are 2 types of pitch counts. First, if you're not sure what I mean when I say pitch count, it's the number of pitches the pitcher has thrown in a game. Each pitcher has their own pitch count and it only applies to each game. Every pitcher starts with a new pitch count every game. A pitcher's pitch count is the single most important measurement that determines the health of the throwing arm. There are 2 types of pitch counts that you should track. One is the game pitch count, which is the total number of pitches the pitcher has thrown in the entire game. This pitch count number is the most important, and it's going to tell you when the pitcher is done for the day and they should be shut down. Nearly every youth baseball league has a pitch count limit where the pitchers are not allowed to throw more than a certain number of pitches in a game. This protects the player's throwing arms from injury. The second pitch count that you should track is the number of pitches per inning. The inning pitch count should also be used to decide when the pitcher is done for the day. If you have a pitcher who throws 40 pitches, there's a huge difference between those pitches being thrown all in one inning or spread out over 4 innings. If they're spread out, that means they're having an easy game with about 10 pitches per inning. They get to rest their arm in between each of those 10 pitch innings, and they could probably pitch a few more innings. If all of the pitches are thrown in one inning, that means that they're really struggling and you might want to consider putting someone else in the game. Throwing that many pitches in a row with no rest causes a lot of stress on the arm. Topic number 2 is there's a very fine line between building strength and causing injury. The number 1 priority for any player or any coach should be the health of the player's throwing arm, especially in youth baseball when their arms are not fully developed. I don't care if you're in the last inning of the championship game with a chance to win. Nothing is worth an arm injury that'll take a player out of baseball for an extended period of time. Not only that, even when injuries heal, the integrity of the arm is still compromised and it won't ever be the same as it once was. So that's going to be something that the player deals with for the rest of their life. That's definitely not worth a few more pitches that may or may not get you a victory when you're 10 or 11 years old. There's a very fine line between using pitch count to build arm strength and crossing over that line of your maximum pitch count and causing injury. You should treat pitch count like weight training. If you haven't bench pressed in months, you wouldn't get on the bench for the first time and then throw 300 pounds on the bar and then try to bench press it. You would seriously hurt yourself. That's like pitching. If you haven't pitched in a real game all off season, don't get out on the mound the first time and throw 80 pitches. Start with 30 pitches and then 40 and then 50 and keep increasing every outing. Every time you pitch, your arm will get stronger. So by the end of the season, you're able to throw almost the whole game without breaking a sweat. Pitch count is a delicate tool that we can use in baseball. Used correctly, it'll safely build arm strength and velocity throughout your pitching career. But used incorrectly, it'll only cause a career full of pain and injury from overuse. Topic number 3 is pitch type percentages. The last thing that you should think about with pitch count is the different types of pitches that you're throwing. For example, a fastball is a type of pitch, a changeup is a type, a slider is a type, and all the other pitches out there are all types of pitches. Each type of pitch causes a certain level of stress or strain on your throwing arm, some much more than others. Your pitch count should be divided into pitch type percentages that you throw. The fastball is the most common pitch in baseball. This is because the fastball is the easiest to control because it travels in a straight line, but also the fastball causes the least amount of stress on the throwing arm when it's thrown. In terms of stress on the arm, the changeup comes in second. That's why I'm a huge advocate for youth players to throw fastballs and changeups only. I actually did a whole video on this topic called Why Youth Players Should Never Throw Curveballs. I put the link to that video down below if you'd like to watch a whole video dedicated to this topic. Curveballs, or really any type of spinning pitch, causes the most stress on the arm. They should be thrown the least out of any other pitch. For youth baseball players, the pitch type percentage should only be between fastballs and changeups. I always tell my players, throw the fastball until they prove that they can hit it. There's no reason to throw a changeup if they can't hit the fastball. But when they do hit the fastball, then you can pull the changeup out of your back pocket and surprise them. Keep track of your pitch type percentage. Make sure it's at least 70% fastballs and 30% changeups. And even though you shouldn't, if you do throw spinning pitches, keep it to the most 5% of your total pitch count. Topic number 4 is youth pitch count guidelines. First, you should always aim for 12 pitches per inning. I've used this 12 pitch mark since I was a youth pitcher, and I think it's a perfect number. If you throw any less, then you had a really solid inning. If you throw any more, then you probably struggled a bit, you had a few walks, or you just missed some pitch locations and they hit the ball. For the game pitch count, the first outing, I wouldn't do more than 40 pitches. That should be about 3 innings of pitching if things are working out. As the season progresses, you can increase the pitch count by about 5 or so pitches each game, but you shouldn't throw more than 70 pitches. If you're 13 or 14 years old and you're about to go into high school, then you could probably push it to about 80 or 90 pitches per game. But young players shouldn't be throwing more than 60 or 70 pitches in a game with at least a 70%, 30% fastball to changeup ratio. Let me know what you think about today's video in the comments below. How do you use pitch count to your advantage as a player or coach? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Before we go, make sure you grab your free guide in the description below. I have a free baseball equipment sizing guide that explains all the equipment that we use in baseball, and most importantly, it shows you how to find your perfect size for you. There's also a free 2-hour practice plan for coaches that has 2 practice blueprints if you need some help organizing your practices for more efficiency. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope this video answered all your questions about pitch count and you have all the information that you need to make the most out of your time on the mound. I'll catch you next week for another edition of the Bullpen Bulletin.